don't know about you, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in our world today. In fact, it's kind of scary. So, come with me. We're going to take a ride to Bedford, Virginia. We're going to talk about how to deal with fear. Here we go. So, like I said, there are a lot of scary things going on in our world today. I think the things that seem to occupy a lot of people's attention on a day like today is what's happening in North Korea and what are the possibilities of that conflict. What's happening in countries like Venezuela. And sometimes we get afraid, and there's nothing wrong with being afraid. There's something wrong with staying afraid, though. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. The scripture says, "What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee." So how do you deal with fear? Fear is a very normal thing. Fear is something that's designed to protect us. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I thought this morning, what would be a good place to go to talk about this whole subject of fear? And immediately I thought about this place. I'm in Bedford, Virginia, and currently I'm sitting on a park bench in the beautiful National D-Day Memorial. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Let me talk to you a little bit about this memorial. The National D-Day Memorial is a war memorial located in Bedford, Virginia. It serves as the National Memorial for American D-Day veterans. However, its scope is more international than it states. In tribute to the valor, fidelity, and sacrifice of Allied forces on D-Day, June 6, 1944, and commends all Allied armed forces during the D-Day invasion of Normandy, France on June 6, 1944, during World War II. And where I'm sitting right now, there are statue busts of all of the generals of the different nations that served. This memorial bordering the Blue Ridge Mountains in southwestern Virginia is an area of over 50 acres that overlooks the town of Bedford. It officially opened on June 6, 2001, with 15,000 people present, one of whom was President George W. Bush. About 60,000 people have visited the memorial each year. Of those, more than half are from outside of Virginia. Now, one of the stories, when you think about D-Day, you have to think about fear. You have to think about those soldiers and what it was like for them to be on those ships and to get into those landing craft and to begin to make their way to the beaches of Normandy. Can you imagine the fear that they experienced? Bedford is a beautiful city, and there's a very important reason why the D-Day Memorial is in Bedford, Virginia. You see, no city in America suffered as much of a loss on D-Day as did the city of Bedford, Virginia. Let me tell you a little bit about the Bedford boys. 34 Virginia National Guard soldiers from the town of Bedford were part of D-Day. 19 of them were killed during the first day of the invasion, and 4 more died during the rest of the Normandy campaign. The town and the Bedford boys had proportionally suffered the greatest losses of the campaign, thus inspiring the United States Congress to establish the D-Day Memorial in Bedford. The Bedford boys included 2 sets of brothers, twins Roy and Ray Stevens, with Ray killed during the landing while Roy survived, and Bedford and Raymond Hobach both killed. The losses by the soldiers from Bedford were chronicled in the best-selling book, The Bedford Boys by Alex Kershaw, and helped inspire the movie Saving Private Ryan. The movie's director, Steven Spielberg, helped fund the D-Day Memorial, including funding for the creation of the Arnold M. Spielberg Theater in honor of his father, a World War II veteran. In the description of this video, I'm going to have a link where you can read a lot more about the Bedford boys and what it was like on the landing at D-Day. What caused me to think about this whole subject of fear as I was listening to the news and seeing everything that was happening was that I was reading in my Bible reading from Psalm chapter 27. I want to read that psalm to you, and I want to let it minister to you and give you encouragement and instruction on how to deal with any fear that you might be experiencing today. Listen to it. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this I will be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble, I love this, in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret place of his tabernacle he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. Therefore I will offer sacrifices of joy in his tabernacle. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me. When you said, seek my face, my heart said to you, your face, Lord, will I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Do not leave me nor forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take care of me. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me in a smooth path because of my enemies. Do not deliver me to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me. As such, they breathe out violence. I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I love the way this chapter closes. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. So fears come. What do you do? You cast all your care upon him because he cares for you. You take your fear and you give it to him, and you trust him, and you believe in him. God has got the whole world in his hands. Nothing can come across our life unless it first crosses his desk for approval. So, whatever fears you may be experiencing today, think about the Bedford boys. Think about the fears that they faced. Think about some of the potential fears that we hear about on the news today. When those fears come, you choose to trust the Lord. Till next week, this is Bruce reminding you to choose joy.